types of penetration testing. Vulnerability and port scanning cannot identify the uses that manual testing can. And this is the reason that an organization hires penetration testers to conduct these assessments. Delivery scans instead of manual testing is a form of fraud and is, in my opinion, highly unethical. If you can't cut it testing, then practice, practice, and practice some more. You will learn legal ways to up your tradecraft later in this course. In this lecture, we will dive into the various types of penetration testing. So let's start with the first type of penetration testing, which is web application penetration testing, hereafter referred as WAPT. In the most common form of penetration testing and likely to be the first penetration testing job most people taking this course will be involved in. WAPT is the act of conducting manual hacking or penetration testing against a web application to test for vulnerabilities that scanners won't find. Too often testers submits web application vulnerability scans instead of manually finding and verifying uses within the web applications. Now you have the essential understanding of WAPT, so let's look at the mobile application penetration testing in the next here. So you will learn all of these penetration testing techniques in later course. This is just an introduction to learn basics of hacking. Mobile application penetration testing. Mobile application penetration testing is similar to web application penetration testing, but is specific to mobile applications that contain their own attack vectors and threats. This is a rising form of penetration testing with a great deal of opportunity for those who are looking to break into penetration testing and have understanding of mobile application development. As you might have noticed, the different types of penetration testing each have a specific objectives. Next, we will look at more human-oriented approach, social engineering. Social engineering penetration testing. Social engineering penetration testing, in my opinion, is the most adrenaline-filled type of testing. So, social engineering is the art of manipulating basic human psychology to find human vulnerabilities and get people to do things they may not otherwise do. During this form of penetration testing, you may be asked to do activities such as sending phishing emails, make phishing phone calls, or talk your way into secure facilities to determine what an attacker targeting their personnel could achieve. I have personally obtained the domain admin access over the phone, tagged my way into bank vaults and casino money cages, and tagged my way into Fortune 500 data center. So there are many types of social engineering attacks which will be covered later on in this course. Most commonly, you will be asked with performing security auditing on systems and networks. In the next lecture, we will discuss network penetration testing. Network penetration testing focuses on identifying security weaknesses in a targeted environment. The penetration test objectives are to identify the flaws in the target organization's systems, their network, wired or wireless, and their networking devices such as switches, routers, and routers. So there are some tasks then that performed using the network penetration testing. Bypassing an IDS or IPS. IDS, this means here intrusion detection system, and IPS is intrusion prevention system. Next, we can bypassing firewall appliances, then password cracking, gaining access to end devices and servers, and lastly exploiting misconfigurations on switches and routers. Now that you have a better idea of the objectives in penetration testing, actual network penetration testing, let's take a look at the purpose of cloud penetration testing. Cloud penetration testing involves performing security assessments and penetration testings on risk to cloud platforms to discover any vulnerabilities that may expose confidential information to malicious users. Before attempting to directly engage a cloud platform, ensure you have a legal permission from the vendor. For example, if you are going to perform penetration testing on the Azure platform, you will need legal permissions from Microsoft. In next lecture, we will cover physical penetration testing here. Actually, in this lecture, not next lecture, physical. So physical penetration testing focuses on testing the physical security access control system in place to protect an organization's data. Security controls exist within offices and data centers to prevent unauthorized persons from entering secure areas of a company. Physical security controls includes like security cameras and sensors. Security cameras and sensors are used to monitor physical actions within an area. Biometric authentication systems. Biometrics are used to ensure that only authorized people are granted access to an area, and the doors and locks here. Locking systems are used to prevent unauthorized persons from entering a room or area. And lastly, security guards. Security guards are people who are assigned to protect something, someone, or an area. Having completed this lecture, you are now able to describe the various types of penetration testing. Your journey ahead won't complete without understanding the phases of hacking, so the different phases of hacking will be covered in next lectures.